Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Furi. We're hitting the ground running today with the second boss, the Strap, who is a prisoner herself, the only other one aside from ourselves in the game, but she still acts as a warden preventing our escape. Now they could unite in solidarity and escape together with greater ease, but instead she's working against not only our freedom, but her own best interests too. Instead, we're two prisoners, two people in equally dire circumstances fighting amongst ourselves. Oh well. Look how cool our design is. This is wild, right? And it changes as the fight goes, as she goes through her phases. As we go into phase 2, that's not going to be the case. But as we go forward, it will be. And this is a solid fight too, with a few arena gimmicks like this one. So this arena is huge, and is hinted to us. These walls and pillars will regenerate after being broken. And it takes some considerable number of shots or a few seconds in the path of the laser before they actually crumble. So you can wage this kind of pitched long-distance battle against her and use the walls to dodge all of her bullets and beams through line of sight, or you could just dash through all the lasers and keep it up close, which is both more fun and way quicker. Barely made it out of the way there. I dashed behind her instead of to the side for a second. And then, oh yeah, the other feature of the arena that I got sidetracked on. There are 4 tiles in the center of the room that act as security alarms when you step down on them, and they will attract your attention for free hits, as you saw. Also, there are pillars like that. I think we're next to one on the left, that if you shoot them, they do the same thing. That will be important for a later phase. I'm not going to abuse that too much for this one. In this phase, now that she has the scythe out, she'll add some melee attacks into her repertoire, in addition to everything else she already does. The difficulty curve in this game is smooth as butter, and it's ramping up already from the first boss, but not in an unmanageable way. It's a clear step up in threat, but she's still not that formidable. She's just not free either, if you're doing this your first time through. But if you know her, then you can exploit a lot of things about her patterns. In this one, I think she adds a 4th hit here. Yeah. So she was doing the 3-hit combo before, and then got her into the 4th phase, and she's added a hit. And that's, I think, the main thing that's different about this phase. That and the purple projectiles are different this time too. That might be new to this phase, or it might just be rare in the 3rd phase. I honestly forget that one. But for now, we can continue just doing what we were doing before for the most part. We have to account for the extra melee hit, and that's about it. That 4th one comes a little bit quicker than you might expect too. So that can be a little bit of a tricky complication as well. Her moveset just grows and grows as the fight progresses, which is pretty cool. Whoop, I didn't react to that in time at all. That wasn't even close. Oops. That'll be the final blow for the phase though. And now she's gonna free herself from her restraints and go absolutely feral. Oh, I love those low angle shots where you get the red of the lighting system up above. Makes this cool blue and red contrast. So instead of chasing her down wherever she went, we're gonna signal an alarm, let her come to us, and get a free hit off. If instead you choose to try to hunt her down in the arena when she goes hiding, as soon as she gets on screen, as soon as you're close enough to have her on camera, she'll glow orange, which means she can't be attacked, and just beeline, haul ass for you. And she will go through walls like the Kool-Aid Man until she has you. And then she'll do a grab attack that you can do a QTE to get out of. But if avoidable, why not avoid it? Plus, it saves us the time and effort of having to track her down, and gives us that free hit. Instead of being ambushed, we're doing the ambushing. I mistimed that pretty bad. That is totally avoidable. Just dashed way, way too early. Ooh, ooh. Ah, I love when they cross. It's reminding me of like my favorite, just regular hunter duel from Bloodborne. My favorite version of it when I had from the LP. When we're just both like anime flash stepping around each other. And as we close this phase out, there we go. Got it that time. On to the final phase, her desperation phase. So once again, we have bullet hell to start off in one of these. And just like the last boss's desperation phase, this one is really, really easy. There's a little bit more you have to watch for, just because of the oblique angles that the purple orbs will come at you from. They won't just track you from head on, they'll come from the side. But aside from that, just point your stick forward, shoot the other bullets, and dodge the couple of purple ones. It's not a big deal yet. This adds a little bit of complication, because those sweeps, they have this pendulum rhythm, except the pace will quicken or slow down, and it can catch you unaware. And also, you are best off charging your dash up, so you have to make sure that you are instantly going back into charging after you've let it go, after you've let the dash rip. This phase is really, really easy. The width of the cones for those laser beams is not huge. Oh yeah, I forgot there wasn't more. They never really ramped the intensity of those up. So now it's just a kind of a regular melee phase. The desperation phases will get incredibly intense. Soon, no less.
Well done. You put her out of her misery.
So if you didn't know, this game was made by a French studio called the Game Bakers, and if you thought some of these designs looked kind of like they came out of Afro Samurai, that's because they were all made by Takashi Okazaki.
She crashed through one day, frantically searching for something. They couldn't make sense of her, she was so wild, so they put her in a cage. Then you came along and they did even worse. Way worse. It all went so wrong. But we're going to make things right again. Together.
Then it was also influenced by God Hand, No More Heroes, and Punch-Out! Because of course, these are essentially Punch-Out fights, but with more movement and occasional bullet hell. Love Punch-Out! Wish we could get another game. That Wii one was excellent. I mean, that is a boss rush game too. Oh wait, you know what? Come on, talk money, man. I know you're about to. Oh, man. Is that a realization about another really overt influence? Or at least what it feels like.
Can you feel it? It's like a dream. The breeze, the peace. Feels like we could take off and leave this place behind us.
So the form and style are so different that I didn't recognize it until now, but this is Shadow of the Colossus.
Nothing is what it seems. We're stuck here, and the real world is somewhere else, down there.
Structurally, it's Shadow of the Colossus. It's a boss rush interspersed with these contemplative sections where you just walk to the next boss. Complete with a sense of moral ambiguity related to our past, too. Oh, and everyone's got an MGS3 name, all the bosses. Like the N, the Fury, the boss, that kind of thing. In this case, it's like the strap, or the scale, or the line coming up. We're in the line, the Master of Time's domain. And this one's really cool. I just love the presentation of this environment.
The old man coming up. There's more to him than meets the eye. A master of time, so they say. But if he's such a master, if he saw it all coming, why didn't he do something about it? Why didn't he stop it from happening? Or at least warn me? But look where we ended up.
The rabbit's name is The Voice, by the way, and I love how they use him as a cornerman. They use him to coach you going into a boss. You know, prime you, give you a few hints, but also deliver exposition. We've found the loops, brother.
He'll try to play it cool. Easy for him, he chose to be here. But we are definitely not cool with this. We are getting out of here.
You can see the arena off in the distance on the right, being encircled by this enormous obelisk. So I think it's the first boss from Crash Bandicoot Warped.
Time to move on. Go cross his path, my friend. The jailer is the key.
For this upcoming boss, think of that one, that boss from Warped. God, what was it a dingo? The one encircled by ice.
Welcome, stranger. I have been looking forward to this moment. I foretold your escape, but not how far you would get. I am glad you made it to me. Time is a picture in motion through eternity. When you appeared, everything got still. You made the picture stop. I'm here to make my clocks tick again. I can't kill you, but I can remove you from my here and now, capture you and bring you back until the next cycle.
Okay, I restarted the fight. Not because I died, death shouldn't be a threat for me until pretty late in the game, but because I wasn't happy with how the phase went. I'm not gonna indulge my perfectionism too much in this LP, because then I will be here forever. No attempt on any boss will ever be good enough. and it will be extra grueling if I have to do every fight perfectly while talking. I can't do that. This one I really want to show right, though, because people tend to have a harder time with this boss, as opposed to the first two. So in this phase, his mirrors reflect your shots, and you have to shoot them a bit to break them. So you're going to have some bullets ricocheting around no matter what. You can minimize the chaos, though, and speed this process of getting to the boss up with some patience instead of just turning the arena into a fireworks show. You just have to wait a little bit, measure your openings, and do a little bit of sniping. If you're really good at this, this part can be done in like 15 seconds. It's super impressive. And that's still a pretty clean way to do this. Also, projectiles are parryable, and that's one pretty solid way to deal with that kind of Summon Swords-esque move where he crowns you. Here, you can do the same thing, by the way. You can parry these. I tend to actually have a little bit of a harder time doing it that way just because I'm not very practiced at it, and I get distracted dodging the lava, when I'm looking out for when exactly I need a parry. And so I do it a little bit slower, but again, in this fight, you kind of cause your own problems, which is a really cool gameplay theme. Now he will... I mistimed it. So eventually, once there's enough chaos on the field... Oops, this isn't gonna... Yeah. He will teleport around, and every time he teleports, it'll be next to you trying to hit you. And that all stops the first time... Oh, God, yeah! Love that! The first time you parry him out of that. And this will be the final part of the second phase. Only 4 on this boss, but he has other ways to elongate those phases. Which goes with, like, his aesthetic. He's small, gaunt, half-naked. He's not sturdy if you just get up in his face, but he has other ways to protect himself. And he has other gimmicks to rely on. Okay, so we're back to this. This time the orbs, this time the parry, will crown us from a little bit further out, which messes with your timing. This time we're dealing with waves instead of the cones of lava, and we're dealing with the kind of converging bullet patterns of the orbs, and honestly, it's pretty easy to deal with. The thing that you... the thing you need to be aware of there is that you can dodge with, if you're using a pad, the left bumper. It's X or the left bumper. We're not falling for that again. I got way too close to him the first time and didn't have any room to dodge the wave. 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost forgot about the 4th one. I was a little surprised at the exact moment he did it. This boss is fun. And the great part about it is his entire theme is time and patience, and this one really forces you to be patient or to deal with the mess that being hasty creates. And so he's a good step up in difficulty. Oh, by the way, if this game seems like it might not be your jam because it's too hard, just give it a shot anyway. It's pretty short, it's cheap, and also there's an easy mode and an assist mode like in Celeste. It's a real joy to play. It feels so good to just dash around and parry things. Also, I'm biased as hell because I love me some bullet hell. Now this desperation phase is gonna get complicated. I think this is the first one that I would call not completely free. The other 2 desperation phases so far are dead simple. This one makes you work for it a little bit. and it gives you a hint of some of the franticness that you're going to experience during future desperation phases. Do you see how smooth, how unbelievably smooth this difficulty curve has been? Feels perfect. Also, this is some fun stuff. This is kind of where you start thinking about this like a shmup. And what I mean by that is you don't look at what you're shooting at. You kind of approximate. You aim by proximity. What your eyes should be glued to is your character. And they make this brilliant decision of giving your character this one super bright, contrasty primary color so you can follow him more easily when there's a lot of chaos. The bullets don't blend in with you because they're yellowish, orange, and blue, and purple, and green. And even the arena, you can clearly track your character really, really easily. And then he'll do the teleport trick one more time once you're out of obelisks to snipe. God, what a good fight.
Look to the sky, stranger. Therein lies your answer.
There is no fate. We build our own destiny.
That is going to do it for now. Thank you all for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one.